Morning everybody, my name is Cody. I'm with the Willow Valley Community's fitness team. Today we are going to be going through core power class. A couple things to keep in mind. If you're a first-time exerciser, please operate at your own pace, take breaks as needed. If you have a water bottle, you can keep that close to you and use that off and on throughout class. Also make sure you have a nice open space to complete class today. And finally, comfortable clothes and supportive shoes are recommended. All right, we are going to get started with a little warm-up today. So I'm going to begin us with a march as we drive the knees up. You can swing the arms at your sides, and we'll get things warmed up today. So we're just trying to lift the knees here, keep a nice steady pace, start getting that breath under control. And let's bring it out to a wide stance. We'll open up the hips here, continue driving the knees up, arms are pumping at your sides. Good, and walk it back into about a hip width distance stance. All right, I'm gonna have you bring your hands to your hips and we're gonna tap a heel out in front. We'll alternate sides. And with our heel tap, let's add in a bicep curl with each repetition. Very good. We can bring hands back to our hips, and now let's transition to a toe tap. So we're tapping the toes, alternating sides, straight to the front. And we'll add some arm movement in, reaching forward and back. Very good. Hands are going to come back to your hips, and let's transition this toe tap now, left and right. We'll do a side step. And we're going to release the arms. Let's just take it to a gentle arm swing, still moving side to side. Good. Now let's take the arms and we're going to reach right across your body. Excellent. We're going to keep going side to side. Let's bring hands back to your hips. And now we'll transition from this side step to a heel curl. And with our heel curl, let's add in a bicep curl again. So you're alternating sides, bringing that heel up behind you with the bicep curl. Very good. Hands can return to the hips, and let's bring it back to that left and right side step. Next, we're going to go one arm at a time as you reach directly across the body. You can stay here if this works for you. If you'd like more of a reach, let's angle that arm down and across. Good. Bring it back right across your body. And if you'd like, we can take this reach overhead, alternating sides. Very good. Let's bring hands back down to your hips. We're going to start to slow the pace of your feet down. All right, we are going to come to about a hip width distance stance, keeping hands on the hips, gentle hip circles. Getting everything loosened up, working on a little mobility. And let's bring those hip circles in the opposite direction. Very good. We're going to return to center. Next, I'm going to have you elevate your arms to about chest level, and we're going to rotate through your torso, moving side to side. Good, and we're going to return to center and relax your arms. We're going to shrug the shoulders up to your ears and roll them down and back. Good, and relax the shoulders. Feet should be hip width distance apart. We're going to bend through the knees as we sweep the floor. Inhale your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale down. Let's do that one more time. We're gonna bend through the knees, sweep the floor, inhale up, exhale down. Great job. So we're gonna start with some strength training next. We're gonna begin today with some squats. So let's bring the feet to a hip width distance stance. Hands can come in front of you or be down at your sides or on your hips, whatever works for you. If you need a chair for some support, feel free to grab that. We're gonna go for 30 seconds with squats. So that's slowly lower, and we'll come back to a nice tall stance. So as we lower, we wanna make sure that the knees stay in line with the ankles. The knees aren't riding forward over the toes. We're sitting down and back. Looking great. We have about 10 seconds to go with this movement. Five seconds left, you got it. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Great job. We're gonna move on to some lunges next. So I'll show it from the side. We're gonna start with your left foot out in front. So our right foot is going to be lunging back. Hands can come to the hips if you'd like. We'll take a big step back, bend with both knees. That front knee doesn't ride forward. Bring it back to the top, and we're gonna repeat on that same side. If you'd like to make it a little more challenging, what you can do is release the arms. As you step back and forward, we bring that knee to the opposite elbow. Give that a try if you're looking for a challenge. Remember, you can always have a sturdy object behind you if you'd like to hold for some support. Got about 5 more seconds, and then we'll switch sides. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. So the right foot will stay out in front now. Left foot lunges back. Hands are either on the hips, or we bring that elbow to the opposite knee. Take your time with each repetition. You want to make sure you have good control. It's a great balance exercise. Just about 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Take a rest. Shake the legs out if you need to. We're going to move on to some single leg deadlifts next. So again, we'll start with the left foot down on the ground, and we're going to be hinging now. So slight bend to that left knee. With the right foot, I'll give you some options. Single-legged deadlift. As we hinge through this left leg, hands can reach towards the floor. Right leg kicks out behind, and reset. And if you need that sturdy object beside you, feel free to use that. Or you can keep this right foot just sliding along the floor. You don't have to lift with each repetition. Just make sure all that hinging comes from the hip on the left side. We're going to stick here for about 5 more seconds, and then we'll switch sides. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and switch to the right side now. Same thing, slight bend to that knee, and here we go, hinging from this hip. We'll bring it down and up. Looking great. We got about 5 seconds left with the right. Again, another great balance and core strengthening exercise. 3, 2, 1. Great job. We'll bring it back to the top. We're going to reset and go through each of those one more time. Feet are going to go back to hip width distance apart as we return to our squats. We'll spend 30 seconds here, beginning in 3, 2, 1. Back to our squats. Again, make sure you're going at your own pace. Take rest through this if you need it. Try to get everything you can out of it. Looking great. 10 seconds to go with this one. And 3, 2, 1. Great job. I'll turn to my side again as we get ready for lunges round 2. Left foot's going to stay out front to start. We're going to lunge back with this right leg. So let's take a big step back. Remember, you can hold something for support, or hands on the hips, Or if you want, we're going to bring that knee up towards the opposite elbow. Looking great. You got about 5 seconds left on this leg. 3, 2, 1. Last rep there. We're going to switch sides. So right leg's going to stay out front. Left leg lunges back now. And here we go, right into it. And again, another reminder, you can keep hands on your hips to do this exercise, or support with an object. You got about 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Last one here. Great job. Shake them out if you need to. Our last one before we get down on the floor of the mat will be our deadlifts again. So we'll keep the left foot on the ground, slight bend to the knee, right leg will hinge back. So plant that left foot, hinging through your left hip. We're going to reach towards the floor, bring it back to a nice tall stance. We got about 5 seconds left with the left leg. Last one here. Good. Reset. Right leg stays stationary. Left leg will hinge back. Here we go, right into it on the right side. You may begin those single-legged deadlifts. Got just 5 seconds to go on this side. 3, 2, 1. Last repetition here. Great job. So we are going to transition down to your mat next, or the floor. Take your time getting there. If you need a drink, now's a great time. We're going to start in a seated position once we get there. So from a seated position, our feet will be out in front of us. We're going to keep the knees bent. We're going to bring the hands together. So we're going to start things off with a Russian twist. So your feet can remain on the ground if you'd like. If not, you can elevate them for more of a challenge. That's up to you. So with the hands together, you're going to alternate side to side, switching directions each time. And we'll go for 30 seconds. So we're going to begin that clock in 3, 2, 1, and you may begin. We want to keep our upper body nice and lifted towards the ceiling. Make sure we're not caving through the back. We're nice and tall. Good, slow, controlled repetitions side to side. You don't have to go super quick. If you're getting tired, you can always place your feet down. You got just about 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Reset for me. Great job. For this next exercise, we'll stay seated. Same positioning, except now we're going to bring our hands down to the mat. So they're going to support on your sides. We're going to be going in and out with the legs. So the knees are going to stay somewhat together, feet together, and I'll give you some options. So as you extend, you can tap your feet on the ground each time. Or if you'd like, you can stay elevated. So again, pick what works for you. We'll spend about 20 seconds with this movement, beginning in 3, 2, 1, and go. 10 seconds down, 10 to go. You got it. Take rest if you need it. Remember, you can tap your feet at each location. We have 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Let's bring it back to a lying position next. Nice and slow, make your way down to your back. Arms come to your sides. Let's walk the heels to meet us. Knees are bent. And we're going to take it to some glute bridges next. So, feet are about hip width distance apart. You're going to press through both heels as you lift the hips up to the ceiling. We have a nice straight line from our knees down to our shoulders. We lower down and repeat. So we're going to keep these glute bridges going for about 30 seconds. If you'd like a challenge, elevate one foot to the ceiling and continue with those repetitions. If you're doing single-legged, then switch sides. And we have 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're going to keep the knees bent. Feet are down on the mat. We're going to move on to some crunches. So arms can come across the body. All we're going to do here, we're going to crunch up, just bringing your shoulder blades off the mat, and then good slow control as you come back towards your mat. That chin stays off the chest. We keep a nice long spine. And if you'd like more of a challenge, hands can come around the ears, feet lift, and we go across to that opposite knee. So pick what version works for you. We'll be here for about 15 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Rest your feet, rest your arms. Great job. Our next movement will be a dead bug. So we are going to keep the knees bent, but let's elevate the feet. Arms reach straight up to the ceiling. We're going to work opposing limbs now. So that right arm slowly going to extend overhead as your left leg straightens. You'll reset to the starting position, and then the opposite side will go. So let's keep good slow control with each repetition and always return to that starting spot and take your time. We're going to continue here for about 20 more seconds. Our back's nice and flat to the mat, keeping these core muscles engaged as we do this. And 3, 2, 1. Last repetition here. Let's rest the legs. We're going to straighten them out to the mat next. Arms at your sides. We're going to move on to some straight-legged raises. So with the feet and knees together, back nice and flat to your mat. We're going to lift both feet up to the ceiling and control on your way down. If you'd like, you can always keep the knees bent and do the same thing, just without the legs being straight. So pick what works for you. We got about 20 more seconds here. Make sure you fight gravity on the way down. And 3, 2, 1. Last repetition here. Control back down to the mat. Great job. So let's bend the knees again. Feet and knees are together. Arms are at your sides. We're going to gently windshield wipe the legs side to side. And if you'd like a little more of a core challenge, you can elevate the feet and continue with that same movement. Let's make sure both shoulder blades stay flat to the mat. Just gently going side to side. And 3, 2, 1. Let's return to center. Bring the feet back to your mat and then straighten them out. For this next movement, arms are also going to reach overhead. We're going to be keeping the limbs straight and once again working with opposing limbs. So that right arm's going to reach up and across to your left foot. We'll reset and then opposite side will go in motion. So you're going to continue alternating X crunches. We'll spend about 20 more seconds here and you may begin. You can always aim for the knee. You can go up to the shin or try to touch that foot with each repetition. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We are going to slowly transition over to a tabletop position next. So take your time getting there. We're going to be on hands and knees. So let's make sure the hand goes right below the shoulder. Knees are right below your hips. We're going to start with a little bird dog crunch in this position today. Once again, opposing limbs. We're going to reach that right arm to the front of the room. Left leg kicks to the back. If you'd like, bring your elbow to your knee. Extend once more. Reset. Opposite side will go. Now keep in mind, you don't have to add that crunch in. You can just extend, reset, opposite side. But feel free to add that between each repetition. We'll keep going here about 15 more seconds. Take your time transitioning side to side. And 3, 2, 1, last repetition here. And take a rest. Returning to that tabletop position, we're going to get ready for a front plank next. So you can do a plank from up on your hands or down on your elbows, whatever works for you. We'll go for 30 seconds, so pick whatever modality works. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, and you may begin. If you'd really like a challenge today, try to transition from elbows to hands throughout that whole 30 seconds. Looking great. We got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Great job. We are going to move to our side next for a side plank. So pick whatever side works for you. Make sure that elbow goes right below your shoulder. Feet can either stack on top of each other, stagger, or if you'd like, you can keep this bottom knee bent, top leg straight, and we hold this position. Or the full side plank. So do what works for you here. We're going to go for 30 seconds. You may begin. If you'd like, this top hand can float up to the ceiling. You can use it for support, whatever works for you. Hang tough with me. We have 5 seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1, rest, and we're going to switch to the opposite side. And take your time transitioning. Elbow stacks right below the shoulder. Feet can either be stacked, staggered, or that bottom knee bent. So pick what works for you. 30-second side plank, you may begin. Again, that top hand can float to the ceiling if you'd like. Doing great today. Hang in there. Last couple minutes, you got it. Trying to get everything you can out of today's workout. We have 3, 2, 1, and take a rest. Great job. One more time, we're going to transition back to that tabletop position. All right, so our last move today before we start some cool down is going to be some mountain climbers. So let's keep the hands right below the shoulders. We're going to walk the feet back into a plank position. Now you can simply hold a plank here for 30 seconds. Or if you'd like to try some mountain climbers, you're going to bring one knee up at a time, alternating sides. great. We got just under 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. And slowly lower the knees. Great job. We're going to go back to that tabletop position and start some cool down. So hands right below the shoulders, knees right below your hips. We're going to do a little cat-cow breathing today. So you're going to inhale as you let your belly button fall towards the mat, slightly lifting the head. Exhale as you pull belly button to spine. Let's continue alternating cat and cow, inhaling and exhaling. Think about rolling one vertebrae up at a time. Make sure that breath stays with you with each movement. Good, let's get one more. And return to a neutral spine. Great job. We're going to point those toes in towards each other. Walk the knees out wide. Sit back to your heels. Arms can extend as we go into a child's pose stretch. Lengthening the spine in this position. You can rest your forehead down on the ground or a mat. And take some good deep breaths. When you're ready, to slowly release that stretch, and then we'll transition to a seated position here to continue with some cool down. All right, so legs can be straight or crossed, whatever works for you. We're going to start here by planting the left hand down on the ground. That right hand, we're going to reach up to the ceiling, and we're going to lean to your side, reaching up and over. Good. Slowly reset. Same thing opposite side. Right hand goes down, left hand up and over, and reach nice and high. Good. Resetting to center. We're going to take your right hand to your left leg. Left arm comes out behind, and we're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale to rotate. Good. Resetting the center. Same thing opposite side. Left hand to your right thigh. Right arm behind you. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. Exhale to rotate. Good. We'll return to center here. Next, we're going to take the arms. You can relax them at your sides. Let's just shrug the shoulders up and roll them back. Good, and relax your shoulders. Let's straighten the legs out now if you have not already. Toes are going to pull back towards us. You can keep a slight bend to your knees if you'd like. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to reach up with the arms and slowly hinge forward, reaching for the toes. I'm going to stretch the hamstrings out. Take some good deep breaths. You can hold your ankles, your knees, wherever you feel that stretch. You can always just pull your toes towards you. You should feel these muscles lengthen. When you're ready, we're going to slowly release. All right, you can cross your legs again if you'd like. We're going to take our arms to our sides. Let's inhale as we reach up to the ceiling. Exhale the arms down. One more time, big deep breath as you inhale up. Exhale down. We'll keep the arms at shoulder height. We're going to pull the elbows back, really open up the chest and the shoulders nice and wide. When you're ready to release, we'll just take the arms, wrap yourself up, give yourself a nice big squeeze, and a well-deserved pat on the back. Great job today, everybody. I want to thank you for joining the Willow Valley Community's fitness team with Core Power today. Stay tuned for tomorrow at 10 a.m. with yoga with Kelly. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining me this morning.